We have all heard of the original e-girl and her multitude of dramas, but her situation just got even more crazy. You will not believe what scheme she has pulled now. Belle Delphine is one of the most notorious female YouTubers ever. She started off her career shrouded in an air of mystery. She is infamous for the way she has become wealthy. No one knew who she was, what she was doing, or her goal. In her early days, she posted mostly strange but alluring content. Videos like her playing and hanging out with a dead octopus while being dressed up grabbed the audience's attention and gave her just the right amount of push she needed to enter the influencer sphere. At this point in her career, the audience did not know what to think of her. Was she just another woman posting questionable videos of herself for the male gaze, or was there something more? Even though many were asking questions, they were not getting answers to them. Belle avoided speaking about her career, her ideas, or her reasonings. She was never interviewed at the start. The hype she created around herself was quite astounding. She wore a lot of makeup and cutesy outfits, but the themes of her videos never fit her aesthetic. We were able to recognize her because of her signature expression, named the Ahegao face. If you were on the internet all back then, you might recall seeing the hit or miss TikTok that she had made that marked the start of the app. Of course, with an attractive young woman comes her multitude of supporters, or, well, simps as you would call them. Her fans were dubbed the Simp Army, as they were willing to do anything just to get a glance at her, and Belle used this many times over. The most famous instance of her using her Simp Army to gain a massive amount of money was the bathwater fiasco. I doubt that you have never heard of this, but just in case you somehow haven't, here is the gist of it. In a brilliant business move, Belle announces to her fans that she will now be selling her bottled bathwater. It came in a little tub of sorts.
Rise up, gamer boys. It's time to get your Gamer Girl bathwater.
And it shockingly, or maybe not when I think about it some more, sold out in 2 days. And here comes the best part. She priced this ridiculous product at $30 a piece. In total, she made around $90,000 from bathwater that she may or may have not bathed in. Not only were her fans buying it, but so were YouTubers. They would review the water and sometimes even take a drink out of it. The possibility of someone drinking the water is precisely why a disclaimer was needed on the product, which she didn't have. This little mistake could have led to her both being arrested and sued. Fortunately, the issue was caught quickly and corrected.
I just forgot to put that disclaimer, and apparently that disclaimer is very important because someone in America could drink it and be like, this, made me sick, and then they could sue me.
Interestingly though, we only learnt this a short time ago. PayPal took all of that money and confiscated it. At the time, she didn't say anything and kept running everything as usual, but she actually lost money doing it. PayPal only released her funds in May 2024, almost 5 years since it all took place. If you've enjoyed this video so far, press the like and subscribe buttons. But that money was just a drop in the ocean compared to how much money she was making at the height of her career. She revealed in an interview that she earned $1 million a month from her OnlyFans account.
The main people on OnlyFans are roughly earning the same, I think, from what I know, and at the moment it's like $1 million a month.
She said this with hesitation, as most OnlyFans girls do, as she understood that she should not have been making that amount of money. But hey, as long as there's a market, there will be someone to sell the product. To make it even better, she never posted actual nudity, only sexual shots of her. It is more fascinating that someone would pay to see these photos of her, rather than the fact she was posting them in the first place. How depraved were the people to give this random woman a significant sum of money, monthly, just to see her posed provocatively? If you're asking me, then that is just poor money management. Her by far funniest stunt was the time that she told her audience she would finally start posting adult content to a site if she reached 1 million likes on a photo. She of course easily reached the goal, and the moment all her fans were waiting for was finally on the horizon. She kept to her promise and started posting videos with both provocative thumbnails and titles, with just one problem. Those were both misleading, as she would use wordplay and do completely harmless things in those videos. She would just sit on a couch, play with some chickens, or eat a printed out picture of PewDiePie. Her standard content is so unhinged that in comparison, this seems rather mellow somehow. This outraged her fans, but didn't cost her her fame. And who could forget the time that she got arrested for spray painting a car? She posted a mugshot to her Twitter after a hiatus, claiming the police had arrested her, plus all of it happened because of a hamster. This has never been confirmed, as no one has ever found records of her arrest. Besides, the mugshot she herself posted. The most likely scenario is that she tried to cover up her long break from socials. Throughout all of these stunts, as previously mentioned, she wore lots of makeup and a wig, which, besides creating the Belle Delphine persona, served another purpose. Once she was done with the internet, she could simply walk around without ever catching anyone's attention. A shocking bit of info she revealed was also this: she had a boyfriend the entire time she was Belle Delphine, meaning that while the simps were giving her $30 for some water, another man was actually spending time with her. How depressing for her fans. Surprisingly, she expressed regret for posting her content, saying that she wished she could just erase it all.
I wish there was a way to kill me on the internet and just like somehow delete everything, or just kind of die in a sense.
In my opinion, she did not regret it that much, as shortly after the interview went public, she turned around and released a doll that represents her. I think there's no reason to elaborate on what this doll is for, as it is life-sized and costs a whopping $2,280. In case you don't know what to do with your savings, this seems like a perfectly reasonable buy. This is the latest news in the seemingly never-ending Belle Delphine drama. You have to wonder whether this means she is already out of money or she simply misses the spotlight. This stunt did not garner as much attention as the other ones did, since so much of the mystery around her is now gone. That mystery was her safe net, and with that gone, no one wonders who she is or what she is doing. By revealing all of her mysteries, she made her biggest mistake. If she had stayed silent, then perhaps she would still be as big as she once was. I find it hard to blame her for the things she did. She played her audience like a fiddle. She knew what to say and how to act. Her money did not appear out of thin air. Someone had to give it to her. You might not like her, but you cannot deny that the business she had created around herself was astonishing. Most of us will never see the amount of money she made in a month, and some part of you can't help but admire her for it. Of course, her type of work is frowned upon in society, but she did it in the least explicit way possible, and when more was expected of her, she cleverly avoided committing the act. While she may not be a role model young girls should look up to, this sort of business-savvy thinking is rarely seen, and there is no doubt there are things to learn about both her impressive business model and her ability to manipulate a large group of people, that group being the internet. She's not the first woman who has used men's lust to her advantage, and she surely won't be the last, but it is safe to say that she was one of the most creative women when it came to exploiting them. We would love to hear your thoughts on today's topic, so leave them in the comments down below.